coming up on NFL Fantasy Live. We'll leave that and bring you to some woulda, coulda, shoulda, our weekly sorrowful look into the mirror. Marcus, what huge mistake slowed your fantasy development this week?
Well, this is sort of a woulda, coulda, shoulda wrapped inside of a humble brag or what have you. Look, I have a team with a lot of depth, and I should have started Antonio Gibson over Alvin Kamara. I should have made room for Gibson in the lineup. But, I mean, how do you sit Kamara? The one thing I worry about, though, is with Taysom Hill at quarterback, because he likes to run the football, how much work is Kamara going to get? So now I'm going to have this dilemma for the next couple of weeks. I'm still going to roll with Kamara, but I probably should find room for Antonio Gibson because he leads all rookie running backs in touchdowns and has been playing great pretty much all year.
All right, I should have started Melvin Gordon instead of Adrian Peterson. With DeAndre Swift out with a concussion, I was like, oh, AP, it's a lock. He's going to be the lead back, and that just didn't work out for me. He scored less than 2 fantasy points from his 7 rushes for 18 yards. And though I try and want to be mad at Adrian Peterson, it was the entire Lions offense that was off. They were shut out for the very first time of a score since 2009. They totaled 185 yards on offense. That was the fewest yardage total in the last decade. So yes, you burned me, Adrian Peterson, but it's not all your fault.
All right, this is an interesting woulda, coulda, shoulda because Rank knew this was coming. You benched DJ Moore, Mr. Rank, and as Marcus predicted, 20-plus fantasy points on your bench. You actually undersold it by 1.8 fantasy points, Marcus. So, Rank, serious question. I mean this legitimately. Are you under some form of curse?
No, I think that I've just realized the way this is going to work out for me. In that, for me, for the greater good for fantasy enthusiasts everywhere, I just have to bench DJ Moore. And the league that I have him in is my league of record, and I'm still doing this. Now, don't worry. I still beat Mark DiPaolo this week, so everything's good. Don't worry about it. I've got nothing to be. But it is going to be something because this week, because the guy that I started over him was Travis Fulgham. And this week, he's going to have the Seattle Seahawks. And you know I'm going to be tempted to start Travis Fulgham again because I can't help myself. And I just feel like this is a service that I'm providing every Sunday at 9:45 a.m. Pacific. I will let you know what I'm doing with DJ Moore, and you plan accordingly. If I'm sitting him, you start him. Just know that that's our deal moving forward.
A vital service from Adam Rank for everybody at home. Hey, Rank, we're on the same mistake with regards to Travis Fulgham, except for me. I should have started Corey Davis over him. I was so pumped that Travis Fulgham panned out in my home league. And this week, I didn't feel great about Corey Davis against the Ravens secondary. Just a dreadful decision. I forgot Cleveland weather has been a better defense than any team, and Carson is just making me wince right now. But every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. I won't make that mistake again. And we wanted to hear some of your tales of woe, so we asked you your big regrets on Twitter, which is a great place for regrets, and everything else is just in general. Here are a few of your answers. We start with Dan, who says he should have started CeeDee Lamb. He should have followed his gut. Rank, you told us Andy Dalton being back would be good for CD.
Dan, what's up, dude? I told you to start CeeDee Lamb this week. Actually, it was a twofer. I said that not only was CeeDee Lamb going to start, yeah, thank you, hit that humble brag. Not only was CeeDee Lamb going to go off, the Cowboys were going to win this game against the fraudulent Vikings. Hit the horn, hit that Viking horn when I'm saying the fraudulent Vikings. And so, listen, I just, you know, did I get it wrong with DJ Moore? Sure. Thank you. That's all I'm asking for. CeeDee Lamb, though, we nailed this one. So, you know what? Andy Dalton really likes targeting him. So I think this is going to be indicative more of what we see from the Cowboys moving forward.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah.
No, we don't need that. We don't need that.
All right, Kimmy, this one's for you. This one comes from Marcus B. It's like if there was a Marcus B. Grant, that would be funny. It should have started Jonathan Taylor. I started Hines. Help Marcus out, sort out this Colts backfield. Help everybody, Kimmy.
No, Marcus, I did the exact same thing because I thought that Nyheim Hines was going to be the lead back because Jonathan Taylor wasn't doing so hot, and then he went out and did this. He rushed the ball 22 times for 90 yards and got himself 15 fantasy points against the Packers. On the other hand, Nyheim Hines just had 2 rushing yards, doing more in the passing game with 3 receptions for 31 yards, totaling 8 fantasy points. Now, this backfield has been so confusing for all of us this season. We keep going back and forth on who the lead back is. This performance just showed us that we still don't know. If you do have shares of any Colts backs, you probably do want to hang on to them, though, because they do have the 4th best playoff schedules for running backs. But just keep in mind that there's so much volatility in who performs on a week-to-week basis and what consistency to expect. So I'm sorry, Marcus, we still don't know.
All right, this one comes from Mr. Mufasa. He sent us this one, laughing out loud. The 1 week I decided to start T. Higgins. He does nothing, about to stop playing fantasy. Yikes. Mufasa's getting stampeded right now. Marcus, help this man out.
I will try to be the Simba who helps, restore your legacy a little bit. Look, I understand. We've all been there. We've all had those rough weeks. It was not a great matchup against Washington. That's one thing. But the way Higgins had been playing, the way the Bengals had been having to throw the football, you kind of had some hope that maybe it would be okay. Now, the same thing I mentioned about Tyler Boyd. The schedule's really good. The volume should still be there. I would probably downgrade him to maybe a flex option, but I wouldn't completely give up on T. Higgins yet.
It's the circle of life. Still ahead here on NFL Fantasy Live. Which of Week 11's standout wideouts are the top targets on the waiver wire? We'll help you decide who is worthy of a roster spot for the final few weeks. But first, we're going to turn our attention to tonight's game between the Rams and the Buccaneers, where just about every pass catcher has a chance to pile up the points. Projections for the players who will be the difference for you between a win and a loss this week. Coming up next.
We've been training for the Shipathon because the obstacles are bigger than ever this holiday. Shop and ship early. FedEx.
The best way to get your large 3-topping $10 Tastemaker is also the easiest. With contactless curbside pickup, let us know when you're here without ever leaving the safety of your car. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
On the next NFL 360, a local legend who became an inspiration to all.
What he did in 14 years of his life, I can't help but be proud of him.
We'll get through this. I love you, Baltimore.
NFL 360, tomorrow at 8 on NFL Network.
McCaffrey leaps, end zone, touchdown! We're gonna talk about this forever, baby.
When it's time to sell your home, there's a lot of money on the line. How can you trust your real estate agent will get it right? There's good news. With HomeLight, you can compare actual performance data on thousands of agents near you, so you know who sells quickly, who sells for the best price. We'll match you with the perfect agent for your needs. And best of all, it's free. Sell your home for more money. Go to HomeLight.com today.
Drivers who fix their own cars just got a smarter tool to work with. The easy-to-use vehicle selector on CarParts.com. We put the exact part you need right at your fingertips. No guesswork, no hassle. Just enter the year, make, and model of your car. You'll save up to 50% and find the right part fast. Turning that smartphone into a parts store on demand where every part is guaranteed to fit. Get the right parts right now at CarParts.com.
Brady drops back to throw. Lob pass, back shoulder. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Four-man rush. In his face. Takes him down for another sack.
They cannot block these 5 guys. They can't block them one-on-one.
Oh, yeah.
He's sacked.
I'm right there.
Brown barrels into the end zone.
It'll be a 98-yard touchdown run.
Right where we belong. Right where we belong.
Ready to go back here on NFL Fantasy Live. We sit just a few hours from kickoff in that important NFC matchup between the Bucs and the Rams. Two of the most difficult teams for fantasy managers to try to get a handle on, too. So Marcus, start off with a prediction for Robert Woods tonight.
I'm going to put Bobby Trees right around 10 fantasy points. They like to get the ball in his hands a number of different ways. I know the Rams passing game has been a little bit underwhelming this season. I will peg him for about 5 catches, 51 yards. Now, if he gets in the end zone amongst those 5 catches, that number obviously goes up and it looks a little bit better. The Bucs have been sort of middle of the pack against fantasy wide receivers, plus the Rams have been a little bit more run heavy this year. So all in all, I just think it's going to be sort of an average day for Robert Woods.
All right, so Kimmy, that's the prediction for Marcus from Mr. Trees. Let's look over at the unenviable task for you to predict this Rams backfield. What you got for Darrell Henderson?
No, stop giving me all the crowded backfield, guys. I do not want any part of this. But, Marcus, I like that number 10, so that's exactly what I have predicted for Darrell Henderson tonight. The reason being, Cam Akers is going to be featured more now that he is back and healthy. Now, though Darrell Henderson did get plenty of uses back in Week 10, and he ended up in the end zone, I think in this crowded backfield, he is going to take a back seat. Now, the Buccaneers are susceptible to the run game, giving up 7 rushing touchdowns to running backs, including 2 in their last 3 games. But I have a feeling it's going to be Cam Akers and Malcolm Brown doing most of the damage tonight.
All right, Marcus, let's look over at the other side where Ronald Jones is taking that surge to prominence here in the past few weeks. What do you have for him tonight?
I've only got him at about 9 points, partially because Bruce Arians, like any kind of parent who's interested in justice, is trying to split the opportunities between his 2 running backs there. So this could be more of a Leonard Fournette game. Part of it is that the Rams defense has been tough. Only 5 running backs have gone over 60 yards against this Rams defense. You still have Fournette there in the mix. So I'm thinking maybe about 60 scrimmage yards, give Jones 2 or 3 catches, and it's just going to be an okay night. Again, if he finds the end zone, you feel a lot better, but otherwise it's just going to be an okay night.
Yeah, tough defense on that other side, and wonder what the matchup's going to be like for Mike Evans against this team. Kimmy, do you know?
No, I have no idea, but I want to project him around 14 fantasy points. Marcus and I earlier this morning on the fantasy podcast, we were wondering which wideout for the Buccaneers is going to be the top scorer. I don't think be Mike Evans, because we really don't know what's going to happen with Jalen Ramsey and who he is going to be able to lock down. Now, though Mike Evans has seen the end zone 8 times this season, the Los Angeles Rams are allowing the fewest fantasy points per game to wideouts this season and have only allowed a top 15 wide receiver just once. So 14 points seems okay. I don't really know what's going to happen with all these wideouts tonight. It's crazy.
Yeah, so we've got Mike Evans as the projected top scorer of those guys coming into Monday Night Football. Can't wait to see it. Thanks to Marcus and to Kimmy. We're going to keep things going here by looking at the daily fantasy needs of everybody. Adam Rank has got you covered. It's time for tonight's fantasy preview presented by DraftKings.
All right, thank you so much, Patrick. Yeah, one of the things I'm really looking forward to in this game is the defense. I know that you wouldn't think about that with a team that has Tom Brady and Gronk and all that stuff, but I really do believe that it's going to be the defense who stands out in this one. And as I was constructing my lineup, I decided to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense as my captain. I don't know if this is going to be like the 1979 NFC Championship game, although the Rams did win that 9-0. But I could see this being a low-scoring game, and I see I'm going to have Tom Brady in there. I don't have Antonio Brown in this lineup. I'll give you a little bit more information on that as we do the show later on today. Now, by the way, DraftKings is the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL, and tonight only, during the Rams-Buccaneers game, new players can play free for a share of $500,000 in total prizes with your first deposit. Download the app and sign up using the promo code FLEX.
Appreciate that, right? You've got your flex starter there, and Tom Brady. There's Tom Brady inspecting the field, to make sure everything's right. Looking good, warming up for the game coming up. This was a couple of hours ago. This week on Game Day Morning, another former Patriot, our own Willie McGinnis, caught up with the GOAT himself to talk about how Gronk is readjusting to life again in the NFL.
Brady slings it to Rob Gronkowski.
You've always been about your teammates. One of your teammates, Gronk, thought it was important to come out of retirement because he wanted to play with you.
Brady lobs one downfield. Caught ball by Gronkowski.
After he caught that seam last week and then ran it down to the 5-yard line, when he starts strutting on the field, you know he's feeling really good.
That full interview coming up tonight on NFL Total Access after us. But when we come back, what exactly went wrong with the Falcons offense yesterday? Marcus Grant has an answer that you and maybe Matt Ryan need to hear as NFL Fantasy Live continues.
For over 30 years, Lexus has been celebrating driveway moments. Here's to one more. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2021 NX300 for $349 a month for 36 months and we'll make your first month's payment.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
At the Home Depot, get Black Friday prices now through December on gifts at the top of every doer's list. Because this year, we all want to do more for others. Gifting improved with the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Black Friday's here early, so get the 5G America's been waiting for.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Unlimited plans fit everyone in your family starting at just $35, with 5G included at no extra cost. Plus, you'll get the entertainment and gaming the whole family will love.
100% obsessed with The Mandalorian.
I watch a lot of sports.
It has all my favorite shows.
Switch now and get $13.50 off our best 5G phones.
It's like a gift on top of another gift. Gifts keep coming at you everywhere.
This is 5G from America's most reliable network.
The only way you beat 6-month aged cheddar toasted on the shell of a chalupa is to put it in this box. The $5 toasted cheddar chalupa box is back for a limited time, only at Taco Bell.
When the food you love doesn't love you back, stay smooth and fight heartburn fast with Tums smoothies.
First up is this exquisite bowl of French onion dip. I'm going to start the bidding at $5. Thank you, sir. Looking for $6. $6 over there. Do I hear $7? $7 in the front. $7 going once, going twice. Sold to the onion lover in the front row. Next up is lot number 17, a spinach and artichoke dip, beautifully set in a hollowed-out loaf of sourdough bread.
Don't get mad, get E-Trade and get more than just trading. Investing, banking, guidance.
I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, and there's no place I'd rather be. I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, and time don't matter to me, 'cause I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Our secret? At SelectQuote, we aggressively comparison shop highly rated companies to find you the company with the best rates. Why pay more? Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Tonight on NFL Total Access, who set off the baller alert on Sunday and who will set it off tonight in Tampa. Plus, a never too early look at the playoff picture. Who's in, who's out, and how will it change? Tonight, 7 Eastern.
It's a special Thanksgiving edition of GMFB.
I'm thankful for you.
Let our crew get your holiday started right with a healthy helping of football.
From our family to yours, happy Thanksgiving.
Good Morning Football. Thanksgiving Day at 7 on NFL Network.
Tuesday, NFL Network will announce the 25 semifinalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2021, which players will take one step closer to the largest and best induction ceremony ever. 2020 Hall of Fame enshrinee Jimmy Johnson will join the show live. Don't miss the Pro Football Hall of Fame 2021 Gold Jacket semifinalists tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, only on NFL Network.
It is time to explain all the things that went wrong with your fantasy lineup this week and what had happened was. So get your notepad ready. I got some excuses ready for you to go. Let's start with the Atlanta Falcons, where Matt Ryan just got rocked. I mean, Ryan wasn't the headlining quarterback in this game, but we still expected a show. But what had happened was he just got bum rushed off the stage, was sacked 8 times, threw a pair of picks, scored fewer than 6 fantasy points. Let's hope it was closing time on this particular act. Next up, Tua, well, he just got tied up. I mean, Tua time had been going pretty well and hoped to keep it clicking against the Broncos, but what had happened was, looks like time ran out. The Dolphins offense was frustrated and Tonga Vailoa was pulled for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hopefully we can turn the clocks back next week. In Detroit, Matt Stafford was just straight up stifled. Despite having an injured thumb, Matt Stafford reportedly wasn't limited for Sunday, but what had happened was we got a thumbs down on the results. Stafford had his lowest yardage total of the year, didn't throw a touchdown for the first time this season, so we are thumbing our nose at some of these fantasy totals. And finally, Alex Smith, well, he was just secondary. I mean, after nearly 400 yards last week, Smith seemed like a solid streamer against the Bengals, but what had happened was, I mean, his services weren't really needed. Antonio Gibson and the Washington defense put in work. Smith had just 166 yards. You know, it's always nice to be able to sit back and take a little time off before the holidays.
Appreciate that, Marcus. Let's bring in the rest of our crew for a round of Pick Up Pick'em, where we present our experts with 2 enticing, delectable even, options on the waiver wire. And then we help select the better choice for your squad. Kimmy, let's start off with some quarterbacks. Would you pick up Kirk Cousins or Andy Dalton, both of whom had solid days in that Vikings-Cowboys game on Sunday?
I was going to say, this is a fitting question since these 2 quarterbacks just faced off against each other, but let's rock with Kirk Cousins on this one. He has the consistency and the O-line to pick in the long run. Now, he's currently the quarterback number 19, averaging just over 16 fantasy points per game. Now, though Andy Dalton does have a more favorable remaining schedule, especially in the fantasy playoff run, there's just way too much volatility in Dallas for me to buy into Andy Dalton, so I'm going to rock with Kirk Cousins on this one.
Kirk gets another win. Marcus, Michael Pittman or Mike Williams?
As much as I really do love Michael Pittman, I'm going to go with Mike Williams in this one. Both of these guys really have limited target shares. Pittman in part because of the way his offense works. Williams because of Keenan Allen just gobbling up all the targets there. So if I'm dealing with that and the schedules being fairly equal, I want the guy who's going to have more air yards, and that's Mike Williams. They tend to take deeper shots down the field with him. Plus, at this point, if you're asking me to pick between the 2 quarterbacks, I'm going to go with Justin Herbert all day over Phillip Rivers. So for me, it's big Mike Williams in LA.
You and the Chargers, BSP, taking Herbert over Rivers. Let's. I'm going to choose this one, as I've got this indecisive computer mouse. Oh, yeah, it's a pretty easy choice for me between Tim Patrick and Nelson Aguilar. I'm going with Nelson Aguilar. While the rest of the world didn't know if it could trust Nelson, Derek Carr has been like, guys, I've been trusting this man for weeks. This was his second 20-point game this season. He's now number 3 on the team in total targets. I don't just want him over Tim Patrick. I want him over a lot of guys. And I said this already. Give me the humble brag. Because at a certain point, folks, the wins no longer justify the memes. Nelson Aguilar is balling, and it's time for this man to have his flowers. Rank, this one's for you. We know you like to grab guys on the waiver wire before they play in these primetime games. So who is the better flyer to take now that you don't have to pick them up next week, Cam Akers or Josh Reynolds?
Oh, yeah, this is really one of my favorite things to do, but I'm going to look at the running back. I'm going to go with Cam Akers. I think it's always prudent to go out there and grab a guy who could end up being a significant piece for your team moving forward. Now, obviously, this Rams backfield has been a headache this season. You know, it's Malcolm Brown, it's Darrell Henderson. We've started to see a little bit more Cam Akers, and he started to see a little bit more of him in the red zone. So I'm kind of excited about what could happen. So to me, this is a very easy decision to make. If you have any spot on your roster, if you're carrying an extra defense you didn't need, there's a player who you know is never going to start for you, what's the worst that can happen if you pick up Cam Akers? Either he goes off and you already have him, you can make fun of your friends, or if he does nothing, you cut him and you move on. I think this is a win-win situation. So whatever you're doing right now, go pick up Cam Akers.
All right, folks, still to come here this holiday season. We're giving thanks for the players who have kept us afloat in fantasy football. Surely Justin Herbert lands on that list. But he's got an even bigger surprise at number 1, our top 5 pleasant surprises of 2020, coming up next on NFL Fantasy Live.
Tomorrow, we're revealing the latest power rankings for all 32 teams. Find out where your squad lands on the list. NFL Power Rankings, tomorrow at 3, only on NFL Network.
On a special NFL Game Day morning.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Our crew gets you ready for a full day of football. Plus, Alex Smith opens up about his long road to recovery.
Washington, touchdown!
NFL Game Day morning, Thanksgiving Day at 10 on NFL Network.
Did you know Duracell Optimum can make devices work even better than copper top? This toothbrush brushes quicker. This screwdriver turns speedier. This fan spins faster. Upgrade your devices with Duracell Optimum.
Your dog is your best friend. But your dog's best friend is your ex-girlfriend, because she always has irresistible pepperoni. Be your best friend's best friend. Pepperoni.
This year, Christmas might be extra uncomfy. But if there's anyone who can put the year back on the nice list, it's Duluth. Salvage this season with 30% off your purchase. Only at Duluth Trading.
Bridgestone Turanza tires are engineered to make sure nothing comes between them and the road. Especially not a little bit of water. That's clutch performance. Bridgestone, official tire of the NFL.
Why choose Invisalign over other aligners?
Only Invisalign treatment uses Smart Track technology.
It moves teeth more comfortably and predictably than ordinary aligners. So I could create custom treatment plans for every smile.
Did you know you can go to libertymutual.com to customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
Really? I had to... Okay, I'm on vibrate.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Applebee's 2 for $20. It's date night in the neighborhood.
For over 30 years, Lexus has been celebrating driveway moments. Here's to one more, the Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2021 RX 350 for $419 a month for 36 months and we'll make your first month's payment.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Something's not right. You need a smaller TV or a bigger house.
Why are you in the dining room?
To tell you Rocky Mortgage can help you plan for a bigger home.
Yeah, Larry's right. We need a bigger place.
Who's Larry? I'm Larry.
If you need a home to fit the whole season, Rocket can.
This season, catch every snap from every game and all the plays in just 45 minutes. NFL Game Pass, where football never stops. Go to NFL.com/Game Pass to start your free trial.
Get your Thanksgiving Day started at 10 a.m. Eastern with NFL Game Day morning.
I'm a giant turkey.
The Steelers look to get one step closer to an AFC North title, but the Ravens may have other ideas. We'll break down what Pittsburgh needs to do to complete the season sweep. And it's rare that one person can uplift an entire city, but that's exactly what Ravens superfan Mo Gaba did.
With the 123rd pick in the 2019 NFL Draft.
You don't want to miss his inspiring story. And speaking of inspiring stories, Kurt Warner sits down with Washington quarterback Alex Smith as he prepares to face Dallas. It's all ahead on NFL Game Day morning, Thanksgiving Day at 10 a.m. Eastern.
And following Game Day morning this Thursday, it's a Thanksgiving football feast. Save room on your plate for a triple header, starting with the Texans against the Lions, and then the football team taking on the Dallas Cowboys, and the main event, the Ravens at Steelers, 8:20 Eastern on NBC.
Thanks, Patrick. We'll stick with the Thanksgiving theme, and here are 5 guys who are pleasant surprises this season. It's kind of like when you're at the holidays and let's say your niece flies in from Kansas, some unexpected surprises, and that's what these players have been like this season. Let's start at number 5, and it's a wide receiver who's near and dear to my heart, Chase Claypool, who has been a great receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's just go ahead and say it. Anytime the Steelers draft a wide receiver, just go ahead and assume that this guy is going to be awesome. 10 total touchdowns this season. That is tied for 3rd amongst wide receivers. He's had at least 15 fantasy points in 3 consecutive games. And looking at the schedule, I know they got the Ravens coming up on Thursday, but they've got some winnable games. They got some good games to go get some production. I know Washington will be tough, but they got Buffalo, Cincinnati. Colts will be tough, but Chase Claypool should be in your lineup every week. At number 4, Mike Davis. Now, he might not be able to stay for long, and he might not even be there this weekend because Christian McCaffrey might return. But for anybody that drafted Christian McCaffrey and was able to go ahead and use Mike Davis as a kind of replacement over the last couple of weeks, he has been a godsend for your team. He's been a top 11 running back in 4 weeks this season. He's certainly not Christian McCaffrey. He's not the guy you drafted first overall, but he's done a nice job in replacing him and has helped keep your team afloat. At number 3, let's go with Antonio Gibson, a rookie running back who a lot of us, you know, it was polarizing, to say the least, to try to figure out who is going to be the running back to pick for the Washington FT, but it turns out it is Antonio Gibson. We love the production. He's had 17 touches in 3 out of the last 4 games. They've got a nice remaining schedule, including Dallas on Thursday. I know Marcus talked about not starting him, but you have to find a way to get him into your lineup each and every week, even against the Steelers in a couple of weeks from now. At number 2, let's go with Justin Herbert. Now, this guy has been amazing. And you know what? 3 touchdown passes in 5 games this season. That's the most by a rookie in NFL history. He is averaging close to 25 fantasy points per game. He's been a top 10 fantasy quarterback in 7 consecutive contests. And you're like, well, how is this guy not number 1? It's because a lot of times we picked him up and you already had to start it. Like, I have Aaron Rodgers in a league, and this was the first week where I started Justin Herbert over Aaron Rodgers just because I wanted the better quarterback. This is probably going to be something that I do for the remainder of the season. So he's been a nice, pleasant surprise. And if you have a quarterback like Rodgers or Lamar Jackson, you can probably trade them away if your deadline is still going on. And at number 1, though, let's talk about James Robinson. I know that I should have told our producers that I need a little bit of a humble brag for this one, but this is one of the guys that I identified when Leonard Fournette was released by the team. And obviously he was a little-known guy coming into the season, but all of a sudden he has been carrying your fantasy football team. And unlike Justin Herbert, who you might have some decisions with each and every week, there is no decision with James Robinson. You have to start him in every game. You don't just find running backs like this all the time. He's got a great schedule coming up. He's got the Vikings, he's got the Tennessee Titans. I know he's got Baltimore, but he's got Chicago, which he should be able to do pretty well against. And those were my 5 guys I am absolutely thankful for this holiday season.
Yeah, Robinson perhaps a fantasy MVP. Thanks, Rank. It's time for the Checkstra Point with Kimmy Checks. Kimmy, there's a team out there. There's not too many teams in general, but there is a team that we, the media, we don't talk about enough.
Yeah, we don't talk about my team enough, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I know we're having these conversations on who should be the MVP. Is it Kyler Murray? Is it Russell Wilson? No, it's Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Why do we not hype them up enough? Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. He's currently the fantasy quarterback number 2 this season. He's had 2+ passing touchdowns in 9 of 10 games this year and is averaging 303 passing yards per game. That is the most in the NFL. You want to talk about other guys who are benefiting from that? You just saw him catch a pass. Tyreek Hill. He's the only player in the league to have at least 1 touchdown in 9 of 10 games, making him the fantasy wide receiver number 2. Another guy who catches passes from Patrick Mahomes, not Tyreek Hill. What about the tight end number 1? Travis Kelce. Let's keep with this 9 out of 10 game stat here. Travis Kelce has had 10+ fantasy points during that same stretch, making himself a top 10 fantasy tight end in 9 of 10 games and a top 5 fantasy tight end in 8 of 10 games. Excuse me. I'm so fired up, I'm slipping over my words. I feel like I'm Adam Rank. I'm standing on a stool, I'm thumping my chest, I'm going hard for my team because we do not talk about how good the Chiefs are. It's just assumed that they go out and put up this production every single week. So while I have a soapbox. I'm standing on it. I'm rooting for them. This is a Chextra point. The Chiefs are incredible. Mic drop.
Here's what it is, Kimmy. Here's my theory. You know how sometimes well, maybe not you, but those of us who have the affliction of bad dental health occasionally, you'll have to shut down the side of your mouth because one of the molars just isn't working. There's a cavity. There's some sort of affliction that you have. And you don't realize how awesome it is to be able to chew on whatever you want, bite into a popsicle, until you're having a problem. And that's what it is. The Chiefs are just this pearly white set of teeth that are just mowing through everything. And until we maybe don't have them being as good as they are, we're just not going to appreciate them. And I say that as a person wearing a microphone who is a member of the media. That was the Chextra point, thanks to media member Kimmy Chex. When we come back, if you're among the 16% of fantasy players that had the guts to start Taysom Hill, congratulations. For the rest of us, those fantasy points kind of withered away on the bench. But even more useless fantasy touchdowns were scored this week. Adam Rank is counting them down. That helps no one. Coming up next.
That helps no one.
This year, Walmart's turning Black Friday into deals for days. Starting Wednesday, November 25th, shop online only and score deals like a $299 Nintendo Switch bundle with Mario Kart. Let's end the year saving bigger.
If you've got Prime, you've got Prime Video and non-stop action. Prime Video, included with Prime.
This year, let's make our own holiday magic. Let's celebrate home with more cheer, more light, and more memories. Because a gift for home brings joy to all.
Decorative towel.
There was a mess. I wiped up a mess.
Yeah, you...
Where is the box? Never mind, I found it.
When game day is a go, there's a Bud Light there.
As a talking bucket of KFC, dinner time is my time to shine. Grab some piping hot chicken, young man. Much better than microwave hot dogs, right, Dad? Eat up. I'm doing the cooking tonight. So pick up a KFC $20 fill-up today.
This year, we got creative with our dollars. But with Walmart's low prices, you still know how to do it up and keep costs down. Let's end the year enjoying more.
Step your game up with NFL Red Zone and NFL Network.
Look at him turn. Oh, what a
Catch every touchdown from every game Sunday afternoons with NFL Red Zone. Join host Scott Hansen as he brings you every can't-miss moment as it happens.
We go to the Octo Box.
And get NFL Network for exclusive live games, original series, breaking news, fantasy insights, and much more.
You guys the best. That's what I'm talking about.
Go to getNFLnetwork.com to get it all.
I see what's possible instead of what's here. Others see cracked concrete, run-down courts. I see a way to bring pride back to communities. That's why I made Project Backboard and a site with GoDaddy. How will you make your mark? Make the world you want.
With this seal, this restaurant is committing to higher levels of cleanliness. The expertise that helps keep hospitals clean is helping keep businesses clean too. Look for the Ecolab Science Certified seal.
Jack Links presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Watch this.
Don't mess with other snacks. Choose Jack Links jerky made with 100% beef.
Watch live, local, and primetime games for free with the official app of the NFL or the Yahoo Sports app on your phone or tablet. Plus, get all your latest breaking news, highlights, and more. Download the NFL or Yahoo Sports app in your app store or at NFL.com/mobile today. We've got a good one on Monday Night Football coming up between the Los Angeles Rams and that man, Jared Goff and Tom Brady. We saw touchdown Tom examining the field earlier. We'll get a look at that game, and Total Access will take you to kickoff coming up today here on NFL Network. For us here on NFL Fantasy Live, it's time for Receive or Deceive as we look at some of the most targeted pass catchers in all of football this weekend to determine whose role in the offense is growing and who might just have had that one good week. We'll start with the number one target in the Falcons offense, Marcus, Russell Gage.
I'm going to call Starscream on this. This feels like a Decepticon to me. It was nice to see him get all those targets, although I don't think anyone was starting Russell Gage. Some of this was a function of Julio Jones not being healthy. We'll see. I know that Julio right now is day-to-day, so we'll see what his status is next week. But the other part of it is Gage is mostly a short yardage guy, hasn't really done much after the catch, so it just feels like big yardage totals generally going to be hard for him to come by, and he doesn't score a lot of touchdowns, so it's not one that gets me very excited.
No, I'm with you on that one, but one I'm really interested in is Damiere Byrd. I know we talked about him earlier in the show. He had 26.3 fantasy points against the Texans on Sunday, and we're starting to see him get more and more involved in the offense over the last couple of weeks. 7+ targets in 2 out of his last 3 games, and in 4 of his last 10. The only problem is like this was a classic passing game from Cam Newton. He didn't run the ball very much. We anticipate that changing. So you really just want to look at the matchups before deciding if you're going to play Byrd. Now, obviously, in 2 weeks, they got the LA Chargers. That's a time you would play him. 3 weeks after that, they got the Bills. That might be another game where you play him. So to me, he's more of a spot starter as opposed to somebody that you have to start each and every week.
Okay, let's talk about Michael Thomas. No, you go. I got so excited. You go.
Okay, well, I'm just going to talk about Curtis Samuel, Kimmy. You know, they snapped the losing streak. We've covered the ebbs and the flows of the Panthers' passing attack and how it relates to Adam Rank's decisions. But I'm not going to say that I've solved the whole thing. But after failing to crest 15 points for the first 6 games this season, he's averaging almost 18 points a game the last 5 games. I think, did you receive this? Curtis Samuel is worth the start here.
Okay, now it's my turn. This is why I get so excited, because we won on NFL Fantasy Vice as well as NFL Game Day, and Marcus Grant and Adam Rank besmirched Michael Thomas. So please hit a humble brag on this one, because I fought for him. I said he is going to be great. He had just under 20 fantasy points. This was his first and only 100+ receiving yard game of the season because he got 9 of 12 targets from Taysom Hill. This is probably not what we expected from Taysom Hill. We thought that Michael Thomas was going to take a hit and that Alvin Kamara would have more points, but it was the absolute reverse for this. I think that Michael Thomas is still going to have opportunities to be productive in the passing games because he can run slants and give Taysom Hill the opportunity to make some of those easier throws. So Marcus and Adam Rank, you learned your lesson. I was right. Michael Thomas is going to be okay.
All right, look. Michael Thomas's production with Taysom Hill might have been a little surprising to everybody outside of Kimmy Checks, but still 80% of NFL.com fantasy managers still started Michael Thomas because they were listening to Kimmy like they should have been. But unfortunately, there were a few touchdowns this weekend that helped absolutely nobody, and they must be shamed and besmirched publicly. That's right. It's a tearjerker from a couple of curtain jerkers in a segment we like to call That Helps No One. To the video, and we'll go down to one of my favorite places, Duval, and of course Deontay Johnson. Listen, he's part of the New Day. The New Day down in Pittsburgh. And wait, what's happening? Why that sound didn't count? Oh no. Well, at least they gave it to James. Oh no, wait. That's Benny Snell, which means that your fantasy production got pancaked because that helps no one. All right, let's go to our nation's capital. Listen, I was standing for Alex Smith this week. Didn't quite work out, but here he throws a touchdown to Terry McLaurin. At least there, I got some redemption. I got those much-needed fantasy points. Wait a minute, that's not Terry McLaurin. That's Steve Sims. Steve Sims. This is awful. Mostly because I was a Powell Peralta guy, but this I have to say because
That helps no one.
it would help if I wrote a better tee up. All right, let's go to Houston, the epicenter of That Helps No One fantasy points. My monitor's off now. I'm a mess right now. But here we are in Houston. Will Fuller got the touchdown. Wait a minute. No, wait. Will Fuller's 15. Number 16, which was my high school baseball number, by the way. Now it's Kiki QT. Are you kidding me? Kiki, do you love me? Yep, obviously don't, because
That helps no one.
All right, let's go to Los Angeles. Joe Flacco. And you know what? Jamison Crowder is a viable option. You should be starting him every week. This is why we start. Jamison Crowder plays like this, right? Oh, wait, that's not Jamison Crowder. No. That's Chris Herndon? He's still playing? The guy that we've been hyping up for 2 years, who has done absolutely nothing. All of a sudden comes out of nowhere, catches a touchdown from Joe Flacco. These points are not elite because Hey, next time you see a fantasy touchdown that helps absolutely nobody, go to the Twitter machine, use the hashtag #ThatHelpsNoOne, and you just might see your tweet on the show. Patrick?
Yeah, right. We're going to help you when we come back, everybody. More fantasy predictions for tonight's Rams-Bucks matchup. Which quarterback is going to carry you to victory? Our answers and predictions as NFL Fantasy Live rolls on.
This holiday season, choose the longest-lasting AA battery. Energizer Ultimate Lithium. Backed by science, matched by no one.
If you've got Prime, you've got Prime Video and Blockbuster movies.
I go to America!
I'm about to do it again. You gon' make me have to do it again.
Prime Video, included with Prime.
One shine circle in the block, 2 signs, you know how we rock. You know who we knocked on, you know who we shot. You know how we come for nothing I got.
Black Friday's here early, so get the 5G America's been waiting for.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Unlimited plans fit everyone in your family starting at just $35, with 5G included at no extra cost. Plus, you'll get the entertainment and gaming the whole family will love.
100% obsessed with The Mandalorian.
I watch a lot of sports.
It has all my favorite shows.
Switch now and get $13.50 off our best 5G phones.
It's like a gift on top of another gift. Gifts keep coming at you.
Everywhere.
This is 5G from America's most reliable network.
Why choose Invisalign over other aligners?
Only Invisalign treatment uses Smart Track technology.
It moves teeth more comfortably and predictably than ordinary aligners.
So I could create custom treatment plans for every smile.
Whoa! Come on, guys. No ball in the house. Come on, Dad. Why don't you check out Rocket Mortgage and plan for a home with a yard? Hey, Larry, can I get an autograph? Absolutely.
If you need a home to fit the whole team, Rocket can.
For over 30 years, Lexus has been celebrating driveway moments. Here's to one more. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Get 0% financing on all new 2020 and 2021 Lexus models.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
It's footlong season at Subway, and Meditron's got some new news. Contactless curbside pickup is here. Just tap for Tasty in the app and pick up contactless. Because it's safety first, right, Tiny Car? You wearing your seatbelt, little man? Subway, eat fresh.
I'm Frankie Thompson, the best-dressed assistant locker room manager in the league. I'm here to help you protect your clothes from getting damaged in the wash. That's why I use new Downy Defy. That's what's up.
We have an assistant locker room manager? Help protect your clothes with new Downy Defy damage.
Canton is awaiting its next class.
Best fill in the world.
Jimmy Johnson joins us as we reveal the 25 legends who are one step closer to enshrinement.
Unbelievable!
The Gold Jacket semifinalists, tomorrow at 1, live on NFL Network.
On a special NFL Game Day morning.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Our crew gets you ready for a full day of football. Plus, Alex Smith opens up about his long road to recovery.
Washington touchdown!
NFL Game Day morning, Thanksgiving Day at 10 on NFL Network.
Back here on NFL Fantasy Live. Kids, if you want to be big and strong, flexibility is important. There is Aaron Donald getting the stretch worked out. MJ Acosta-Ruiz and the rest of the folks on NFL Total Access are going to stretch all the way to kickoff between the Rams and the Bucs. They're coming up right after us here on NFL Network. But before we go, we got one more fantasy preview for you. It's Believe It or Not, where our Twitter followers told us what situation that they need to see happen tonight to get a fantasy win. Our panel, our esteemed panel, will tell you if they believe it will happen or not. We start here with Tank for Trevor, who needs 17.7 fantasy points for Touchdown Tom tonight, Marcus. Do you believe he will break 17?
Well, based on your name, I should say no, so that you could get Trevor in a dynasty league. But I'm going to say I believe it, because Tom's been averaging about 20 points, and even though this is a tough matchup, I could see him getting you about 18 points tonight. So yeah, I believe this is going to work out for you.
All right, here we got Corey, who's tweeting at Cooper Kupp, so we're going to ding you. That's a fine, Corey. Give me 23 fantasy points today. I ask for nothing more. Kimmy, do you believe he gets it?
No, remember, you're not supposed to tweet at NFL fantasy players or NFL players at all. But sadly, I don't think Cooper Kupp is going to be able to do that. He's only had more than 23 points in 1 of 9 games this season, plus a tough matchup because the Bucs have not allowed 23 fantasy points to a wide receiver in 2020. So it's a no for me, dog.
All right, this one's from Erica, who says that she needs 17 points from Chris Godwin tonight. Asks for the fantasy gods to help her out. Erica, I'm no fantasy deity, but I think the Rams get a bit of a stew going. Tom's going to need some touchdowns late. One of those will go to Chris Godwin. I feel as though you will have your win. David wants to know, what are the odds of Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, and Bucs kicker Ryan Succop combining for 64 points, Adam Rank?
You got this, David. You're going to get it. Now, we like Chris Godwin this week because we're worried about Jalen Ramsey, who he's going to shadow. Well, Chris Godwin runs 52% of his routes from the slot. I don't anticipate Ramsey traveling into the slot to shut down Godwin. So it's either going to be Mike Evans or Antonio Brown. I feel like we're going to see a lot of Ramsey on Antonio Brown. So hopefully Chris Godwin and Succop can get those 60-some-odd points for you. I think you can do it, though.
Yeah, just got Ryan Succop just banging them through all the way tonight. That's our time for today. We're back in 23 hours with Week 11's reactions and overreactions. Our new batch of fan friends are going to talk fantasy football live with us. Join us. NFL Total Access coming up next.
Right now on NFL Total Access, 2 seconds up first. Second place in the NFC South, second place in the NFC West. The Bucs have the 3rd-ranked defense. The Rams have the 5th-ranked offense. One's got balance, one's got Brady. Oh, look, so do we.
And when I was young, I had guys like you.
But who wins this thing, and how do they do it? We've got Monday night picks and predictions. Plus, 75 yards in 75 seconds. Championship credentials confirmed.
Why not? Mahomes to Kelsey.
What we learned on a Las Vegas night that will change the course of the NFL season. And who set off the baller alert? Nothing weak about Week 11. This is NFL Total Access. Welcome to NFL Total Access. We're presented by Bridgestone. My name is MJ Acosta-Ruiz. Week 11 culminates tonight with a battle in Tampa Bay. We've got Willie McGinnis and Steve Mariucci in studio. David Carr will join us as well to break it all down. But I want to get you to the good stuff right away. So we head to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, where Tom Brady and the Bucs getting ready for this showdown tonight. Now, yes. Willie McGinnis, you went one-on-one with Tom Brady. We'll see that later in the show. But what words of wisdom did you have for him ahead of tonight's game?
First and foremost, get the ball out quick. He's going against that animal Aaron Donald in the inside. So Jensen, Kappa, and Shipley, the interior lineman, and Warsh, the right tackle. He's going to get some reps against him. You know what they do with Aaron Donald? They move him around the line. He's vicious. He's tough to stop. You got to get the ball out quick. Also, when you have this much talent on the outside at the skill position, spread those guys out. That will help negate the pass rush because the ball will come out quick. You will up-tempo, not allow the Rams to substitute. And there's not a lot of Jalen Ramseys out there. You can't put 5 Jalen Ramseys out there. So take advantage of the guys that you think you can win the one-on-one battles with.
I love how easy you make it sound. That's all you got to do.
I've said it before, MJ.
I know you have, Willie. Thank you. All right, getting to some other news around the league. Joe Burrow's impressive rookie season is officially over. An MRI on Monday revealed a torn ACL and MCL in his left knee. The top pick of the 2020 draft was hurt in the second half of the Bengals' loss to Washington on Sunday. Burrow, of course, headed to Twitter, thanking everybody for the love. He said, "He can't get rid of me that easy. I'll see you next year." The NFL world reacting to his injury. Lots of well wishes. Look at that. And, of course, a lot of people lamenting that we just watched the end of the season for an impressive rookie quarterback. Ian Rappaport was, of course, all over the story from the very beginning. He joins us now. Now, Ian, what happens now with Joe Burrow and his recovery, and what's next for the Bengals?
Well, Joe Burrow is going to have reconstructive surgery on his ACL. The expectation is about a 9 or a little more month recovery for Joe Burrow. From what I understand, two key things here. One, he is in fact expected to make a full recovery. Nothing that happened to his knee, that hit you're seeing right there, will prevent him from reaching peak performance again in the 2021 season. It is a long road, but he should be fine. My understanding of a timeline, he should be right up against the start of the year. So there's a realistic chance, if everything goes well, that he will be ready by week 1. Not guaranteed, but he does have a chance. And yeah, he tore his ACL, he tore his MCL. Certainly for Joe Burrow, everyone's thoughts are with him, but one thing that the Bengals do know, they hit big on their quarterback. They just won't see him again for a little bit.
Having to wait till next year to really see what else he has. All right, pivoting to another team, and the Ravens dealing with several positive COVID tests. What more can you tell us on that?
Yeah, the Ravens have a huge game Thursday night against the undefeated Steelers, and they are not going to have two of their best players, two of their key players on the field. First of all, J.K. Dobbins, who has emerged as their lead running back over the last couple games. He tested positive for COVID-19. He is on the reserve list. He is out, as is his sidekick, Mark Ingram. So two key running backs not on the field for the Ravens. Gus Edwards now going to be the lead back. Brandon Williams, their defensive tackle. He is a close contact, also not going to play on Thursday. Meanwhile, a couple other COVID-19 issues. First of all, Myles Garrett, the stellar pass rusher for the Cleveland Browns. He is out once again, not going to play against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is out a minimum of 10 days total because he had symptoms. So again, Garrett out this week. And then finally, Adam Thielen, one of the bigger names to land on the COVID-19 reserve list. That just happened today. Thielen, of course, now faces the possibility of not being on the field for the next game for the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, Ian, safety and health, the top priority as always. Thank you. You guys, our Total Access Game of the Week, it never disappoints. So let's take a look back last night, Chiefs and Raiders. So if you recall, the Raiders handed the Chiefs their first loss of the year back in Week 5. No one forgot about that. We'll take it to the fourth quarter. 1:53 left on the clock. Derek Carr with an eternity in the pocket. Ultimately, it's Jason Witten. He finds the edge of the end zone for the touchdown, and the Raiders lead now 31-28. But we're all thinking it, right? How much time left for Mahomes? Too much is the reality. 34 seconds is the answer, and there's a wide open Travis Kelce waiting for him to seal the game. 35-31, the final. Now, I'd call this unreal, but it's just a little too normal for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Kelce also added a little celebratory shoulder rub for his coach, Andy Reid. We'll get to coach in a sec. Here's Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, there was no doubt we wanted to win, and I think the guys came to play. And, I mean, like I said, that's a great football team. Teams beat a lot of good football teams, including ourselves. And we needed everything we had to win this football game. And we have a great football team coming up this next week, so we're excited for the challenge this next week and moving on to that one.
I've got Pat Mahomes, so I know you give me a minute and a half, and I'm pretty good right there. You know, I'd take him over everybody, and I'm lucky to have him. So. As we are as a football team, as we are as a city. And when you're behind, he can make things happen. And he's got great vision. He's got guys that believe in him, around him, and work like crazy to get themselves open.
So here's what the numbers show. Next Gen Stats powered by AWS when it comes to Patrick Mahomes on the run versus the Raiders last night. He was 9 of 15, which is a career high in attempts on the run for Mahomes. 105 pass yards and threw the game-winning touchdown while he was being chased down, by the way. David Carr joining me now. Now, we've said pretty much all that there is to say about Patrick Mahomes, so we thought, because every week he just outperforms himself, David.
He does outperform himself, and I find myself a little sad because my little brother was playing his heart out there trying to beat this guy, but he's so talented, you have to be on top of it. All 11 guys have to be doing their job, and when we break this down, you look at these 3 plays that I'm going to show you, this is exactly what Andy Reid was talking about. Guys are working their tail off to get open, and he has extreme talent, and so as you drop back to pass, if your rushing lanes aren't there, like there's a way out to the left. Yes, you have pressure up the middle. Yes, the coverage is great down the field, but now he moves to the left, and he has an elite arm strength. He does things that no one else can do. Look at that body position. Go try that in your Turkey Bowl game this Thursday. See if that works out for you. Throw it about 5 feet. Fantastic play. Now they got it. They got the pressure on him. They got a cover zero. Got a free guy coming. Everyone's covered up. You got to fight through some traffic. He still backpedals another 5-7 yards, throws it in the only place that they could catch it, makes another conversion, and you find yourself saying, well, what do we got to do? We got to make a play, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do have to make a play, but here's the last play, 30 seconds. You can't try to make a play so much that you give him a rushing lane. Look at the defensive line is all in a bunch here. So Pat steps up to run, and now it's just open lane. So Jonathan Abram, who's in the middle of the field, he's got a perfect coverage area for Kelce where this touchdown is going to be thrown, but he leaves because the pass rush isn't effective. He gets out of the pocket, exposes the defense, has a bad pass rush, and then they win the football game. And so you see Arnett in the back throwing his hands up like, what do we got to do? Abram's got to stay in place. Yes, he does. And a lot of attention is going to be focused on Jonathan because of that. But it's the front, it's the defensive line that didn't do their job, and it breaks down the back end. And Patrick Mahomes, he does that to you. He puts a lot of pressure on you from all aspects. He's a great player. They're going to be tough to beat.
David, if I may for 1 second, Derek played an unbelievable game last night. I tweeted about it. It wasn't just vintage Derek. He's been trying to tell us, I haven't gone anywhere, but you're right, to your point. Everyone has to do their job. We'll get into that a little later in Go Figure. David Carr, thank you.
Game on the line. The kick is up, and it is good. And we are going to go to overtime today.
Jackson to throw it. Under pressure. Sacked!
For the rest of overtime, any scoring ends the game.
Henry gets the carry running left. Henry to the 25. Henry to the 20. To the 15. To the 10. To the... Yes! Oh, yes! 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 Touchdown, Titans! As the Titans will run out of Baltimore with a shocker in OT.
Snap, head placement, kick to the uprights. It is right down the boulevard. It is good. So we go to overtime. Free football. How about that?
Packers back to work. They throw left side, wide receiver screen. They let the ball. Ball's on the turf around the 30-yard line. The Colts have the ball. Here's a snap. Ball's down. Kick is on the way, and it's through. It's through. It went in. It went in, and the Colts win it. A walk-off winner. The Colts win 34-31 in overtime.
Let's dive into the AFC playoff picture. Check you out, Indy. With their win over the Packers, the Colts remain as the AFC South division leaders, which would give them a home game in the playoffs. Now, if the season were to end today, it doesn't, obviously, but the Colts would play the Titans in Indianapolis. Willie and Mooch, I feel like this season is like a Jenga game, right? Teams trying to balance themselves. They get plunked out. They get outmatched. Mooch, this Packers-Colts game, you know you like a good Jenga game. Yeah. This Packers-Colts game was a full pivot from one half to the other, Mooch.
Great game. You're talking about a couple of teams that are going to be playoff teams, 7-3, veteran quarterbacks, right? Phillip Rivers and Aaron Rodgers, and you're talking about a tale of two halves. There's no doubt, because the Green Bay Packers dominated that first half, and I didn't see that coming because I thought that Colts defense was supposed to be pretty good. They were the #1 defense in the league, and you know what? All of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers is going up and down the field. They scored on their last 3 drives before the half and made it 28-14. That's a lot of points against the Colts. But you know what, MJ? The second half, here come the Colts, and Phillip Rivers, a veteran quarterback, with the youngsters as a supporting cast. Jonathan Taylor, the rookie running back, showed up. Michael Pittman, where's he from, Willie?
USC, the Trojans, you know.
3 catches and a big play and a touchdown.
I shouted him out before the game.
I know it, and you know what? The veteran quarterback with these youngsters really rallied and ended up outscoring them 20-3 in the second half, winning that game in overtime. Wow. The story of the game, too. Great game against 2 really good teams. The Packers, Willie, had only turned the ball over 5 times all season. Well, the Colts took it away, 4 in this game. That was the determining factor.
Yes.
That was the difference.
There's always an X factor tipping point. You mentioned Jonathan Taylor, by the way. We're going to have him on NFL Total Access later this week. A little teaser are there. Now, let's pivot to another game because Titans-Ravens, of course, incredible. Derrick Henry, as we know, out of control, as followed up here by LeBron James, calling him the finisher. I mean, just very casual Twitter exchange between the two of us. But as much as we love Derrick Henry, he comes through every week. Ryan Tannehill came through right when his team needed him as well this week.
Absolutely. But King Henry, give him props. He did what he needed to do and had over 100 yards. This was a heavyweight match between two AFC teams, and this was also a defining moment for Ryan Tannehill. A lot of people said that he was a game manager, and he needed King Henry so much with the play action and all that to win football games. But when you look at critical situations, when the game's on the line, it was 2 minutes and 18 seconds left. He had to drive 90 yards. 90 yards down the field. He was 4 of 4 for 70 yards, and he threw a 14-yard touchdown to A.J. Brown. This is what you look for quarterbacks who has the it factor, that you can put the team on your back, that you cannot make mistakes, turn the ball over, make critical throws, keep your poise, and drive your team down the field and put them in position to score. Now, then they went over to overtime, so if you add those numbers, that's 106 yards, and he was 7 for 7. He was perfect. That's what you need from your quarterback. This says a lot about Ryan Tannehill, where he's fit in, how he is with this team, and why they gave him this huge deal. He's not just a game manager. When they needed him to perform, he performed at a high level and gave his team an opportunity to win. And, of course, Derrick Henry finished it off.
As always. By the way, you said Tannehill and A.J. Brown. We're going to see them later in the short. What nod did they get? Stick around. We'll find out. But we got to give them their props where props are due. Okay, Mooch and Willie, thanks. Of course, we're here for you on Thanksgiving Day. Here's our slate of games as you're eating your turkey stuffings, all the good stuff, starting at 12:30 Eastern. Texans at Lions. Then it's Washington at Cowboys at 4:30 Eastern. We wrap it up. Ravens at Steelers. Prime time on Thanksgiving night. We'll have more on what's going down with that game a little later in the show. But we have you covered all day long right here on NFL Network, starting with Good Morning Football. That's at 7 a.m. NFL Game Day morning at 10. Then it's a three-peat. 1, 2, 3 iterations of NFL Total Access for you. Willie McGinnis used to be in charge of getting Brady, the kid, to chill out. Now he's in charge of getting Brady, the GOAT, to open up.
Belichick, Bruce Arians.
It's an NFL Network exclusive, and it's on the way. Plus, the baller alert has been sounded. The names have been taken. The wait will be worth it. But first, he chucked it as far as he could.
He's going to loft one up.
And it didn't go so well.
And that ball's out.
But Taysom Hill wasn't in the mood to despair. Taysom Hill was in the mood to destroy.
Quarterback power we've been asking for.
And that's exactly what he did.
He is a weapon.
After the break, we'll show you how. NFL Total Access just getting started.
The only way you beat 6-month-aged cheddar toasted on the shell of a chalupa is to put it in this box. The $5 toasted cheddar chalupa box is back for a limited time, only at Taco Bell.
Our new house is amazing. Great street, huge yard.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fencing. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save even more.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Peter.
Touche.
What? Find out.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
For over 30 years, Lexus has been celebrating driveway moments. Here's to one more, the Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2021 IS300 for $339 a month for 36 months and we'll make your first month's payment.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Rise and shine. Welcome to Good Morning Football.
You ready, Kay?
Nate, former pro, big time style.
Notice the footwork.
Kay, fantasy expert, knows the league inside out.
This team is loaded.
Peter, tapped into everything in the game.
Spoiler alert, he can light up the league.
And Kyle, NFL whiz, pop culture ace.
This is such an exciting time for a fan.
Together, they're here for football.
Let's get it going, baby!
Good Morning Football, tomorrow at 7 on NFL Network.
See yourself.
Welcome back
to the mirror.
And know you're not alone, because this is not just a mirror. It's an unstoppable community.
Come on, Jesse, one more.
It's a race across time zones.
Come on, you two. Let's go.
A gift for the whole family. So join in now and see your best self in the mirror.
McCaffrey leaps, end zone, oh, touchdown! Takes it to the outside. Oh, the stiff arm.
Let's go. That's unbelievable.
Can't stop him.
They're gonna talk about this forever, baby.
Falcons at Saints. Taysom Hill getting his first NFL start as a QB with Drew Brees on IR. Now, last time he had a QB start, keep this in mind, it was 2016 at BYU. Third quarter, Saints leading by 1 point. Fourth and goal, and Hill says, I got it, don't worry. Runs it in for the 2-yard touchdown to add to the Saints' lead. So we go to the fourth. Saints leading 17-9. First and goal this time. Taysom Hill assessing the situation here. Let's run it back one more time. Yep, another rushing touchdown for Taysom Hill, the jack of all trades. Definitely a familiar feeling for him there. Saints win it 24-9. But I want to take a look at the numbers here for Taysom Hill. Great job there. He finished 18 of 23, threw for 233 pass yards and those 2 rushing touchdowns on the way to a Saints victory. Let's get to Game Center, presented by Bridgestone. Mooch, what did you think of young Taysom Hill out there?
You know, there was a lot of debate whether he should start, right, or Jameis Winston, and he's been there for 4 years.
Yeah.
So he knows the system a little bit better, right? It's a wordy system. So Sean Payton said, hey, let's go with the guy who's been here. He had to come off a lot of the special teams because he's a Swiss Army knife. He does everything on offense and special teams. So let's take a look at his performance because we knew he was going to be a good runner, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, on 4th and 2, what do you call? All right, Ghostbusters. No, you call Taysom Hill right up in there. You block down, you kick out, you run through the hole. I could have ran through there. That was very well blocked, okay? Now he's going to go back in the red zone, and it's touchdown, check down kind of thing. So go on back and be a good decision maker. You can't turn it over. Everybody's covered. He's covered. Everybody's covered around here. Scan the field, and where's my check down? You know where the check down is, MJ? My legs.
Right
That's
here.
the check down. He's a fast guy. Go to the pylon. 2 touchdowns, all right? 51 yards. But this is what the question mark was. What is he going to do in the pocket on passing? Let's fake to Alvin Kamara and block this, maximum protection. Nice job. Now, 2 hands on the ball, passing stance, eyes downfield. All right, he's got good protection right here. Let's see what you got right there. All right, look downfield right now and find your weapons. You can't run every time. Oh, yeah, there's Michael Thomas. Nice throw on the move, first down. All right, now let's do it again. Now we got to make a chunk play, don't we? Can't just dink and dunk the whole time. Let's go on back and throw a dig. Get in the pocket, play action pass again. And now, he's got to be concerned on the dig, that free safety, breaking on the ball. So this has got to be what? It's got to be a rocket throw. Boom! Beat the safety. And he did that. He threw for 233 yards. More importantly, he didn't turn the ball over. He was good. They won 24-9. And you know what? He's going to be their guy, MJ. Because the next 3 games, at Denver, at the Falcons again, right? And then at the Eagles, teams with losing records, but on the road, maybe he can hold the fort down till Drew Brees gets back against the Kansas City Chiefs.
All that chatter, though, there's no doubt in my mind that Coach Payton had all of these tricks, Jedi mind tricks, ready to go. He knew what he had in young Taysom Hill, and he showed it out in this game. I feel there's still a lot more to see from him, Coach.
Can't wait.
Thank you, Mooch. All right, and speaking of Coach, there is nothing I love more than a Sean Payton petty tweet, except for the ones that are so slick that it came as just a retweet. So after the win, Coach Payton simply reposted former Falcons receiver Roddy White, who, by the way, spent the entire week trash-talking the Saints, and that Hill was named the starter. Coach didn't have to say anything else. Just going to leave that right there for you. All right, it is a week for family fun and feasting on some amazing NFL Total Access. Granted, Eagles fans may disagree tomorrow when we ask, is it time to back Carson Wentz or is it time to bench him? Well, Wednesday we'll also have every angle of the Total Access game of the week. And look, when we say it's the game of the week, believe it. Week 10, Hail Murray. Week 11, Hail Mahomes. Week 12, Hell yeah. We got the kid and the GOAT, the Chiefs and the Bucs. A lot to unpack. We'll do that on Wednesday. But before Brady gets the champs, he gets the Rams. And before the Rams get Brady, Willie McGinnis does. That's coming up next on NFL Total Access.
The only way you beat 6-month aged cheddar toasted on the shell of a chalupa is to put it in this box. The $5 toasted cheddar chalupa box is back for a limited time, only at Taco Bell.
I've always wanted to do that.
I've always wanted to do that.
Well, I've wanted everything. I always wanted to do this.
I always wanted to do that.
Next round on me.
We are a team. We are a unit. We are a family. No, literally. We are a suburban family of football fans. That's our neighbor. Hi, Bob. And that's the inflatable screen we forgot to properly secure.
Pepsi, made for football. Watch it.
At the Home Depot, Black Friday prices are here all season on appliances that give you the holiday help you need to celebrate wonderfully. Save on these Samsung laundry pairs. Appliance shopping improved. With the Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Since pioneering the SUV in 1935, the Chevy Suburban has carried many things. Nothing more important than family. Introducing the most versatile and advanced Chevy Suburban and Tahoe ever.
Okay, Limu, you said it. Then as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so they only pay for what they need. Got it? Did you get that? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get your ice cold Bud Light, Bud Light. Seltzer hip. Can you get a Bud Light delivered to your seat just like at the game? Yes. And will I still do my touchdown dance just like at the game?
Canton is awaiting its next class.
Best fill in the world.
Jimmy Johnson joins us as we reveal the 25 legends who are one step closer to enshrinement.
Unbelievable!
The Gold Jacket semifinalists, tomorrow at 1, live on NFL Network.
On a special NFL game day morning.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Our crew gets you ready for a full day of football. Plus, Alex Smith opens up about his long road to recovery.
Washington touchdown!
NFL game day morning, Thanksgiving Day at 10 on NFL Network.
NFL Total Access is presented by Bridgestone Tires. Clutch performance in the real world.
All right, who will have tonight's Bridgestone clutch performance, David Carr?
MJ, if you don't know about Darius Williams yet for the Los Angeles Rams, he's playing. I mean, this guy is out of control. 2 picks last week against Russell Wilson. Some of the most dynamic interceptions that you'll see from a defensive back. He's got 4 on the year. He plays opposite Jalen Ramsey, so he gets a lot of attention. Watch for this kid to have a big night against Tom Brady.
All right, David Carr, thank you. Let's head over to some game action tonight. Bring in Sarah Walsh, who joins us from Raymond James Stadium. I want to talk matchups with you because Tom Brady praising the guy who's going to be getting after him tonight, and Aaron Donald. I guess game-recognized game, Sarah.
Oh, it certainly does. Aaron Donald has 81 sacks in the NFL, and yet not one of those have come at the expense of Tom Brady. Brady is the only quarterback that Donald has faced multiple times and has yet to sack or get a win against. He said part of the reason it's so tough to get to Brady is that he's smart. Donald said he sees things, he knows things. Now, Brady was effusive in his praise of Donald this week. He called him one of the best defensive linemen ever to play in this league, and he said that the production he has when he is double-teamed, sometimes even triple-teamed, is amazing. Bruce Arians was asked to describe Donald and called him the Tasmanian Devil. And then he said, maybe only old folks get that reference, which, Bruce, I don't know what you're saying because I got it. But if you don't know the Tasmanian Devil, he's crazy. He's absolutely everywhere. and he wrecks things, which Donald certainly has the capability of doing tonight. One other note to pass along, the Rams kicking mystery apparently has been solved. Matt Gay is down on the field warming up. He was a 5th-round draft pick by the Bucs in 2019. He will make his Rams debut tonight. The Bucs cut him in September, MJ.
Just a casual debut against Tom Brady and the Bucs there. All right, Sarah, we'll catch up with you a little bit later. Thank you. Let's take a look at the NFC playoff picture here because major implications for both of these teams in this game. So the Bucs could still win the NFC South, especially now with the Saints missing Drew Brees. Now, if the Rams win, I want you to pay attention to where they are here. They would move from the 6th seed to the 2 seed in the NFC. Yeah, they're definitely thinking about that. We have major implications, too, here on Total Access.
Hello.
This is our Monday Night Pick standings. Right now, I am still in the lead. 10-1. The guys are on my heels. Willie and Mooch 9-2. Both of you. David Carr at 6-5. So let's pick this one, guys. I'm starting to get a little shook. I'm not going to lie, but I'm holding it down. Willie, you first. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the Bucs. I think the Bucs have a lot of weapons on the outside. I know the Rams have been playing some great defense, but there's only one Jalen Ramsey. So when you're looking at matchups and trying to find those Brady, Arians, Leftwich, they do a great job of picking those guys out. Everybody's healthy. The offensive line will have to protect, but the ball will be coming out quick. So I'm going to go with the Bucs. What did I say, 31 to 27, something like that?
33-26.
33-27. It'll be close. You must be close to my score since you know it. Always piggybacking.
No.
Always.
I like that you picked your boy, and I appreciate that. But the one weakness you look at both these teams. Where is the one weakness? And you mentioned it, Willie. It's the offensive line for the Bucs, and the Rams. They got Aaron Donald, and I think that they have some decent guys on the outside that can slow some of these receivers down. Ronald Jones isn't going to go off for 150 yards against the Rams, so I'm going to go in a really tight one. I'm going to go Rams 28-27.
Yeah, well, David, the Rams are missing a guy, too, at left tackle over there, Andrew Whitworth, right? The bodyguard, and he's going to be out for a while, so that's going to be a huge loss for him. I'm picking the Bucs in a close one, 27-24. Both of these teams, though, seem to be playing well right now. The Bucs just put a 40-burger on the Panthers, and, of course, the Rams beat the Seahawks. That's a huge win for them. So they're both confident teams. I got a feeling that this is going to be another great game coming down to whoever has the ball last, which one of these offenses and quarterbacks can get the ball in the end zone for points. So I'm saying the Bucs win 27-24. MJ, what say you?
All right, I see what you're doing there, David. I see you. All right, trying to move up in the standings. I appreciate the strategy. Listen, I also think this is going to be very close to one-possession game. I do have the Bucs 28-21. At the end of the day, when we're going back and forth, you see the two defenses. Am I going with Brady or am I going with Goff? As much as I see the talent in Goff, it's the GOAT. It's Brady. I'm not going to pick against him. I hope he does. Right, I'm doing wrong in this one. All right, Willie, you got to talk to him. Set us up for this epic one-on-one.
Had a chance to talk to my brother Tom Brady, who told me he's faced some challenges, but it's nothing he can't handle.
What's up, big fella?
What's up, brother? You looking slim and trim? How you feeling?
Shaved up. Got a lot of vitamin D lately, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Hey, look, we loaded. Greatest of all time, and they know it. What we go to.
21 years in, bro. Did you ever think that you would still be playing at a high level, to say the least?
You'll never see another one like this one.
Everything's just kind of been a progression. You know, I think when I was in high school, I was like, you know, I'm going to play college football.
Touchdown, Michigan!
After a few years in college, I was like, yeah, of course I'm going to play pro football. Then I was like, of course I'm going to be a starting quarterback someday, you know? When I reflect back and think how it's all played out, I'm just grateful to everybody who has supported me. You know, I'm just a very, very blessed guy.
You're the greatest of all time. We're here. You're the greatest, and you're the greatest.
Belichick, Bruce Arians, polar opposites. How's that been?
Working with BA has been really great for me in a very different way. You know, he's very tough on you when things aren't the way that they need to be.
We had a miscommunication between he and Mike. Mike read it right, and the other one was a screen pass with an outlet called, and it was a pick six. Bad decision.
There's nothing about me or my game that's infallible, you know. I'm a player like everybody else, so I'm trying to be coached, and I think the team has very high expectations for me. When I don't meet those, he should be pissed at me, you know. That's just rightfully so, and there's probably nobody more pissed than myself, but when you hear it from your coach, too, you know, it does motivate you.
Go!
I've looked back in the past, and I was like, man, he's been around some really talented position groups. But now, do you look at the roster and be like, there's no way we shouldn't win every single football game?
Well, I think that's kind of the easy way out, to be honest. Just because you think, oh, we're talented, we've all had production, let's just roll our helmets out there and we're going to win. I think that's actually not the case. Mike's a spectacular player. Chris is a spectacular player. Antonio's a spectacular player. But it doesn't mean, okay, great, you should go out and just figure things out. That's not the way football works. It's too difficult.
Brady slings it to Rob Gronkowski.
You've always been about your teammates. One of your teammates, Gronk, thought it was important to come out of retirement because he wanted to play with you. He's starting to seem like he's starting to get back into the Gronk of old.
Brady lobs one downfield. Caught ball by Gronkowski.
After he caught that seam last week and then ran it down to the 5-yard line, when he starts strutting on the field, you know he's feeling really good. He's a beast. His ability has been unmatched.
You mentioned Antonio Brown. You guys have a special relationship outside of just football. How important was it to get him on the football team?
I've watched Antonio play for a long time and thought he was a spectacular player. You know, I think anytime you meet different people in your life and you think that you can be a mentor in some way, you know, that's something that I've always enjoyed as quarterback. Because I am older than, you know, basically everybody at this point. So, you know, I've had a lot of guys that are a lot younger that are going through circumstances that I went through when I was their age too. And when I was young, I had guys like you. I had Teddy, you know, I had Drew Bledsoe. So when I look back on my career, it's going to be about the relationships that I have. That's a big part of the reason why I still play football.
I appreciate your time, brother, as always, man. I love you and the family, and keep up the good work, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Same here, man. Great seeing you.
Willie, you really do get like a different side of Tom when he's talking to you. It's obvious you guys have a special bond, but what did he say about tonight's game against the Rams?
Well, the one thing that he talked about, of course, was the pressure. He's always self-evaluating. He's highly critical of his game. He never focuses on the positive things. So when you look at the weak point, if you're talking about the GOAT, it's probably the deep pass. Yeah. Since week 5, he's been 3 for 30 in the deep passes. So that's one area he wants to improve in. But he knows if he holds the ball, that gives Aaron Donald and his pass rush more time to get to him. So the ball has to come out. We played against defenses like this in the past, the Pittsburgh Steelers. You spread them out, you get the ball out quick, you go to your weapons, you find the matchups, and you try to wear the defense down. That helps get the ball out, not get him hit, negates the pass rush, and find the matchups, and slowly move the ball down the field. And I expect to see that tonight.
The margin of error, though, for a team like this with these two defenses, too, is this big. It's barely, barely existent. Willie, thank you. Listen, guys, this is NFL Total Access. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz, Willie McGinnis, of course. And here's what I know. No one on the Jags, the Falcons, or the Lions are going to make your baller alert this week. Is that too much? All right, listen, fine. I'll throw this in because no one on my Dolphins will make it either. But baller alert is coming up next. So.
Your dog is your best friend. But your dog's best friend is your ex-girlfriend because she always has irresistible pepperoni. Be your best friend's best friend. Pepperoni.
The only way you beat 6-month aged cheddar toasted on the shell of a chalupa is to put it in this box. The $5 toasted cheddar chalupa box is back for a limited time, only at Taco Bell.
All Tyson Anytizers chicken is raised with no antibiotics ever. They're a great decision for snack time. Letting your son's one-man band practice in your garage? Not a great decision. Keep it real. Keep it Tyson Anytizers.
DiGiorno has 7 delicious crusts, and your family food critics will rave. Croissant crust is flaky layers of buttery bliss. Rising crust is fresh baked deliciousness. There's a 5-star pizza for everyone in your family to love. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
If only there was a place nearby you could get one of these. Or these. Good thing they're sold literally everywhere business is done. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at a bank. Not sorry, Reese's.
This is Nest Hub Max from Google, but to someone who's tired of always ordering delivery.
Hey Google, play Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat on Netflix.
It's the Google Dine-In Motivator. Nest Hub. From Google.
For over 30 years, Lexus has been celebrating driveway moments. Here's to one more. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2021 NX300 for $349 a month for 36 months and we'll make your first month's payment.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
DXL is built for big and tall guys, period. We've got your favorite brands, and our signature fit is all about style and comfort. Safely shop over 300 stores or online at DXL.com. DXL Big and Tall, built to fit.
This year could use some cheer. Salvage this season with 30% off your purchase. Only at Duluth Trading.
Saquon Barkley is the strongest guy we know. So now we're just going to use our yoga commercial to say this. If anyone can dominate recovery, it is this man.
Hi, Susan. Honey.
Yeah?
I respect that, but that cough looks pretty bad. Try this new Robitussin Honey Severe.
The real honey you love, plus the powerful cough relief you need.
Mind if I root through your trash?
New Robitussin Honey Severe. Strong relief for your severe symptoms.
Want to dominate your fantasy league?
Thanks, everybody. We all make it play.
Our experts have the insights to give you the winning edge.
Are you feeling this quarterback? He's never going to stop throwing touchdowns.
NFL Fantasy Live, tomorrow at 6 on NFL Network.
On the next NFL 360, a local legend who became an inspiration to all.
What he did in 14 years of his life, I can't help but be proud of him.
We'll get through this. I love you, Baltimore.
NFL 360, tomorrow at 8 on NFL Network.
We are about 45 minutes away from kickoff, and check this out, guys. Our all-black officiating team for tonight's game. This is the first time in NFL history that this has occurred. We will have many more on these men taking the field tonight. But first, it is the highest honor of the week. It's time for Moochie's Man. Mooch, this week it's a man who gets a lot of respect from everyone here, and rightfully so. Who's Moochie's Man this week?
Romeo Crennel. Are you kidding me? That guy, look at him. Look at him, that guy. Hardly recognize him with a mask on. Romeo Crennel. Get this, MJ. He's 73 years old. That's the oldest head football coach to win a game in the National Football League ever, all right? Surpassing George Halas 53 years ago. But you know what? He's really something. He has a great relationship, obviously, with Bill Belichick, and that was a heck of a game against each other. You know, Willie was on that team when Romeo was Bill's defensive coordinator in 2001, 2, 3, and 4. They only won 3 Super Bowls back then. And then he left over there and took the head job over at Cleveland. But they have a great relationship, student-teacher. Call it what you want. They're great friends and great coaches. But as every good coach knows, you don't win a game by yourself. Your players win games, right? And Deshaun Watson, another great performance. He's got 108 passer rating on the season. And you know what? That's the highest passer rating of any quarterback ever to have a losing record. Right. I don't want to say he's playing by himself, but he's carrying this team. He's keeping them alive. He had another 344 yards passing. In fact, their offense had 399 yards. And Deshaun Watson had 380. That's 95% of their offense was Deshaun. And you know what? The only other guy that's done that ever for the Texans is our own David Carr. He did that, and guess what? Week 12. This is week 12 coming up, right? So this is the 14th year anniversary of David Carr carrying that offense and having 95% of it for the Texans. David, way to go, man. We're going to have a parade up here.
I love, ticker tape. I love the reference there. And you know what it is? Crennel has literally seen it all in this league and still getting out there and leading a team.
He's a great friend. He's a great guy. He's a great coach. And you know what? We all wish him the best. I hope he keeps coaching until he's about 100. He's good for this league.
He's probably, don't wish that on him. You know, he's probably tired, Mooch, but he's doing a heck of a job. Mooch, thanks. All right, here is a look at your top fantasy performers for Week 11. Keenan Allen at the top of the board there with 34.5 points. Adam Thielen, Deshaun Watson, we just talked about it. Justin Herbert, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce round out the top fantasy performers. All right, it's time for Baller Alert. William David, any of these guys on your list?
Man, I love that horn. And Coach, thanks for giving my guy a shout out. We already knew you was a baller, David. You're already in the club, so give me somebody else that was a baller this weekend.
I got it. Is it possible for a team that's undefeated to be flying under the radar? Because my first two guys, collectively, Ben Roethlisberger and Minkah Fitzpatrick, are absolutely balling. And I love Ben's mindset. I love that he goes about this thing and he was quoted as saying, "We're not in this to go perfect. We're in this to win Lombardi trophies." And that's exactly the right mindset you have to have with young playmakers on the outside playing the way they are. He's just dealing, man. I mean, think about where the Pittsburgh Steelers were last year were without him and how far they've come since then. Now then you got Minkah Fitzpatrick on the other side. Every time there's a play to be made on the defensive side, number 39 is there, stuffing wide receivers, intercepting passes, making plays on the ball. Great pairing by these two guys. Love where they're at.
Man, what a difference an elbow makes, and a safety that's a ball hawk. How about the Saints defense? I was counting when we were at home and we were sending messages when they were at 5 sacks, 6 sacks. They had 8 sacks. Wow. They smothered this offense. And I thought Matt Ryan in this offense, because of the weapons, would come out and do a little bit more. They couldn't run the football. They didn't have over 100 yards. They couldn't throw the football whenever somebody would break down. It was a sack. Cam Jordan led the team with 3 sacks. You got to give a shout out. When you got balance offensively and you know you got somebody else at quarterback, the defense needs to step up.
They are a tough defense for sure, and this is a tough runner. A.J. Brown, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's like a big physical running back. They got some freaks on their team. Derrick Henry, obviously, but A.J. is a guy that when he gets singled up and he gets the ball in his hand, he's breaking tackles. And look at this. I mean, he's just throwing guys off of him. I love this guy. He changes the dynamic of their offense when he's in there. Now that he's healthy and he's rolling the last couple games, a month or so, it's been a different team, and they're playing fantastic football because of number 11.
Have anybody heard of Donovan Wilson, the safety? Only 6 career starts for the Dallas Cowboys. Guess what? He's on the list. When you got almost 10 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and a half a sack, this is what the defense for the Dallas Cowboys needs. This is what they needed as safety. Somebody that was coming up, laying the you-know-what. Donovan Wilson, welcome to the club, new beginner.
I love it. Okay, so on the opposite side, I mean, number 19, Adam Thielen. This dude, look at that catch. One-handed, sliding into the back. I mean, the guy's fantastic. Obviously, Justin Jefferson on the other side, Stephon Diggs, they've always been guys. But where Kirk Cousins is going, he's going to number 19. The guy makes play after play. Obviously, at this point, he's at 11 touchdowns. Okay, so you think about it. In Vikings history, there's been some pretty good receivers. Chris Carter, Randy Moss. The record's 17. He's got 11. He's right there. I mean, he possibly could break this receiving record for the touchdowns with the Vikings. I'm here for it.
All right, my next guy is Olivier Vernon. He's not a new beginner. He's been in the game for a while. No Myles Garrett. So whenever your star player or one of the best defenders is not in, not saying he's not, somebody else has to step up. Now, they limited this offense to barely nothing. The defense and special teams scored 9 points of the 22 points that they had. Whenever you can score on defense and make big plays, that's big. And then when you can walk away individually with 3 sacks, being a guy who got after the quarterback, that's even more better. All right? MJ, new beginner, more better, all these crazy words that I'm saying. Is it Monday? Is it Monday?
We love you just the same. All right, these guys are not new beginners. Have a say in this year's Pro Bowl vote presented by Verizon. The Pro Bowl may look different this year, but the best players will still be recognized. Show your love, cast your vote, and make sure your favorite players still earn their place on the 2021 Pro Bowl roster. Vote today. You can go to NFL.com/Pro Bowl. All right, the numbers on the scoreboard rarely tell the whole story of an NFL game, and that's why we invented Go Figure, to go deeper with 3 numbers, each hiding its own story. So today's are 10, 3, and 7. Pretty basic NFL digits, right? Wrong. Totally wrong. We'll see why next.
When game day is a go, there's a Bud Light there.
Pokies, gnocchis, raviolis, and them smokies. Curry, fried turkey, cacciatore, chimichurri. Burry, McFlurry, half stack, taco pack, lobster mac, and them baby back. We are America's Kitchen. DoorDash, every flavor welcome.
Wendy's didn't start the chicken wars. They just ended them with Wendy's new classic chicken sandwich. Nothing beats this classic. Grab it now in Wendy's 2 for $5.
It's getting colder, oh so wrong. Mom, look! Are you okay? Feeling like I'm shut out in a world.
Head home this holiday with the one you love.
Visit your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today for exceptional lease and financing offers at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event.
Be it discovering talent in different continents and entirely different sports, or discovering a smoother whiskey by double aging. Sometimes it's just better to stay curious. Dewar's.
At the Home Depot, Black Friday prices are here all season on appliances that give you the holiday help you need to celebrate wonderfully. Save on select LG appliances. Appliance shopping improved. With the Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Could you tell where my head was at when you found me? Me and you went to hell and back just to find peace. Man, I thought I had everything, I was lonely. Now you're my everything, I was lonely. Yeah.
Go to NFLShop.com and gear up.
It's off to Leonard. Defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
Jack Links presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Watch this.
Don't mess with other snacks. Choose Jack Links jerky made with 100% beef.
With this seal, this restaurant is committing to higher levels of cleanliness. The expertise that helps keep hospitals clean is helping keep businesses clean too. Look for the Ecolab Science Certified seal.
All right, found out who gets one step closer to the enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Check out the Gold Jacket semifinalists presented by Ford. That is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on the NFL Network. It's time now to go figure. That is 3 mystery numbers, each with its own story. And today we are starting with number 10. Pittsburgh Steelers, 10-0, first time in team history. Impressive. Not it, though. I'm talking Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool. Chase wears 11, but he should consider 10 because yesterday he became the first rookie wideout in the Super Bowl era to put up 10 touchdowns in 10 games. 10 is also in honor of Adam Thielen's first 10 games of the season. Adam became the first player in Vikings history to put up more than 10 receiving touchdowns in 10 games. And let's not forget, that's a Vikings history that includes Chris Carter and Randy Moss. The next number is the number David Carr is too nice to call out. It's the number Derek Carr is too nice to call out. I will not be that nice, though, because the Raiders didn't lose by 4. They lost by 3. 3 dropped passes when it mattered the most. It doesn't matter who did it. What matters is who they did it against. Because today, the difference between a challenger and a champ is 3. The final number is 7. The number of people who make up the officiating crew for an NFL game. Tonight in Tampa, 7 isn't just important, 7 is historic. It will be an all-black crew for the first time in NFL history. Jerome Boger will take the lead, and he'll be joined by umpire Barry Anderson, side judge Anthony Jeffries, line judge Carl Johnson, down judge Julian Mapp, field judge Dale Shaw, and back judge Greg Steed. No luck about this 7. This 7 was earned. So congratulations, gentlemen, and thank you. Go figure. And now to go a little deeper into this moment in NFL history, here's our own Steve Wyche.
Arguably the highest compliment that can be said about game officials is that you barely noticed them. That might be hard to say Monday night when the Rams face the Buccaneers. All 7 on-field officials will be black. It will be deemed historic, these black men calling holding, pass interference, delay of game, or explaining a coach's challenge. Referee Jerome Boger, a longtime official, understands the significance.
I am humbled to stand on the shoulders of the black officials who paved the way for me, especially Johnny Greer, whose number 23 I wear today.
This grouping of officials comes the same calendar year that 5 of the 7 officials in Super Bowl 54 were black, in which the Chiefs defeated the 49ers. It also comes 55 years after Burl Toller became the first black game official in pro football. At a time when the NFL and its clubs are finally being held accountable for their lack of diversity among head coaches, general managers, team presidents, and league executives, an all-black officiating crew gets at least one game together.
I am happy and honored to be contributing in such a small way to this big moment in the history of the National Football League.
Regardless of color, race, or religious beliefs, we all can work together and accomplish our common goals. It's been a blessing to have a career in a profession that I truly enjoy and look forward to participating in each and every day.
And like all officials that call clean games, they'll hope not to get noticed. But for this occasion, they might not mind too much.
And the Los Angeles Rams tweeting out this photo of the now historic officiating crew, giving their nod and respect to the all-black officials on tonight's game. Well done. All right. He's been in the top 10 of the top 100 players list for 3 straight years. That's a list voted on by players, by the way. Don't tweet me. And players respect Aaron Donald because players fear Aaron Donald, and they should. We're counting down to the Rams and the Bucs nervously next.
It's a special Thanksgiving edition of GMFB. I'm thankful for you. Let our crew get your holiday started right with a healthy helping of football.
From our family to yours, happy Thanksgiving.
Good Morning Football. Thanksgiving Day at 7 on NFL Network.
Introducing the iPhone 12 Pro with 5G, now at T-Mobile. Unleash the 5G power of the epic iPhone 12 Pro in more places. Get 2 iPhone 12 Pro Max and 2 lines of unlimited 5G for just $100. Only at T-Mobile.
Why choose Invisalign over other aligners?
Only Invisalign treatment uses Smart Track technology.
It moves teeth more comfortably and predictably than ordinary aligners.
So I could create custom treatment plans for every smile.
For over 30 years, Lexus has been celebrating driveway moments. Here's to one more, the Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2021 RX 350 for $419 a month for 36 months and we'll make your first month's payment.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Your journey requires Liberty Mutual. They customized your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Wow, that will save me lots of money. This game's boring.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
At the Home Depot, Black Friday prices are here all season on appliances that give you the holiday help you need to celebrate wonderfully. Save on the Samsung stainless steel kitchen package. Appliance shopping improved. With the Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Bridgestone Dueler tires are built to drive around the entire Earth 3 times. Now someone just needs to build the road. Now that's clutch performance. Bridgestone, official tire of the NFL.
You push your body hard in the name of fitness. Sure, it's for a good cause. But a good cause shouldn't mean sacrificing a good time.
Discovering talent in different continents and entirely different sports, or discovering a smoother whiskey by double aging. Sometimes it's just better to stay curious. Dewar's.
Applebee's 2 for $20. It's date night in the neighborhood.
This season, watch football when you want.
We back in the flesh, baby!
Make way for the king.
That was a dime right there.
Every snap from every game, now at a lower price.
They can't stop us.
All of the plays in just 45 minutes. And learn from the players.
They already know what's going to happen.
NFL Game Pass, where football never stops. Go to NFL.com/Game Pass to start your free trial.
All right, we're getting closer to kickoff, just under 30 minutes. Tom Brady is always ready to go. As you see him here on the field, getting ready to face the Rams. Let's take you to the stadium. Sarah Walsh is waiting there. She's back with us now. And, well, Sarah, when we talk about notable matchups here, a lot of folks have their eyes on Jalen Ramsey and Antonio Brown, potentially.
Yep, why wouldn't you? It's one of the big ones tonight. Sean McVay called this Bucs offense an absolute nightmare. And yes, Ramsey is one of the most talented corners in the league. He was asked how difficult could it be if he's on perhaps Mike Evans, who's big and rangy, and then has to switch to Antonio Brown. We don't know exactly how it's going to shake off. And he said, at most, it's just hard to play corner in this league no matter who you're on. But he did say that AB is the best receiver he has ever played against. He said it's his speed, it is his route running ability that makes him so good. And Ramsey said, in his opinion, Antonio Brown is a Hall of Fame player. We have seen AB's targets increase each and every week. Now, granted, this is just his third game with the Buccaneers, but last week, Tom Brady targeted him 8 times, and Antonio caught it 7 to lead the Bucs in receptions. Ramsey said challenges like this offense, this receiving core that the Bucs have, that is what he lives for. The Bucs are going to need all the firepower they can get against a very, very difficult Rams defense, MJ.
Ooh, Sarah, high praise there from Jalen Ramsey, but exactly the type of matchup that everybody wants to see. Sarah, thank you. All right, let's get you a little POV, see a little bit of what Sarah can see from her point of view there. Time now to give you total access field pass, gentlemen. Let's take it to the field. David Carr starting with Jared Goff.
Jared Goff is quickly becoming one of the top 10 guys that I would trust at the line of scrimmage. It's crazy to say that because when he first came out, he didn't really know what was happening on the defensive side. But through the tutelage of Sean McVay and the time that they've spent together, he's developing a master's, just superb ability to understand what they're doing on defense and then get in the right play. And, you know, we used to talk about Sean McVay back there with the walkie-talkie and waiting until 15 seconds to try and get him in the right play. Jared's doing it well in advance. They're playing with tempo. He's quietly having one of his best seasons, if not his best season. Just watching him on film, he's throwing the ball well in the intermediate levels. Everyone's clicking. The run game's actually been pretty good. You know, now that Todd Gurley isn't the main focus of what's going on there, this is Jared Goff's football team. And he's got a great defense. He's got a good young coach, and they're rolling. I'm excited to watch him play tonight.
All right, I am too. And let's go from Jared Goff from Cal to the GOAT, Tom Brady. You know, in 2017, he was the MVP of the league. And in 18 and 19, his numbers started going down a little bit, right? And everybody says, well, maybe he's getting old. He's in his 40s. But you know what? Right now, he's rejuvenated. He's back, and he's got weapons galore, and he loves it. It's a brand-new offense for him. But you know what? They're starting to hit on all 8 cylinders, and he's got weapons that he's really never had before. This depth with Gronk and AB and Evans and Godwin and you name it. They're excited. Tom Brady's having a heck of a year. He had a heck of an interview with Willie McGinnis, too. He's ready to go.
Yeah, Coach, and the one thing that he said that they're still not all in sync like he wants to be. There's a lot of work to do. Guys understand that they haven't had a lot of time, 9 weeks without training camp, and a real full offseason isn't what they really needed. But they're starting to fill each other out. The receivers are starting to understand when the ball is coming out, where he wants them to be. He's starting to understand the receivers better, getting out of their breaks and different things of that nature. When you talk about how critical he is of himself, he adds a lot of pressure to everybody else around the board because he always wants things to be perfect. He never focuses on the good things that they're doing, but he'll pick apart all the other things to try and make everything great. So he's got a lot of weapons, but like you said, you can't just roll it out there and expect to win because of the skill set you got. And one of those guys that he always talks about is this man right here, Mike Evans. He's been one of the best receivers before Tom Brady got there. And I think whenever you have somebody that has the innate ability to make you better as a player and want to work harder in preparation, all those different things, which he said Brady did that for him, the sky's the limit for Mike Evans. Now, you can't double team him. There's too many guys across that line at the receiver position, tight end, and running back. So now he's going to benefit from having all these other guys, Antonio Brown, Godwin, Miller. There's too many guys. And the running game. So expect Mike Evans to even get better this second half of the season, his numbers to go up.
You know, Willie, there was a lot of talk about this receivers group for the Bucs, right? What's going to happen once AB get there? He's a ball hog. He wants to be wide receiver one. We haven't heard any of that thus far, to their credit, and that's exactly, if you're a Bucs fan, if you're part of this team, that's exactly what you want, just complete focus on the game. But let's talk about Antonio Brown, and thus far what has come from his production. He has 10 receptions for 100 receiving yards in 2 games so far this season, and you see them sort of like snowballing this, building upon his integration into this offense and building upon that rhythm and those dynamics that he and Tom Brady are coming together with. I think tonight we will probably see a lot more of Antonio Brown. It's going to be a really interesting matchup and exactly the type of stuff that everybody's looking for, especially in primetime.
Yeah, I think you're right, MJ. And the guy that benefits from all those receivers that we were just talking about is right here, Ronald Jones.
Trojan.
Ronald Jones gets favorable boxes, light boxes, go run the football straight ahead, because there's just so many guys that you have to cover down the outside. So if he can be the back that we've seen, and obviously last week was big with the huge 90-plus yard run, 192 yards rushing against the Panthers. That was fantastic. But you're facing a different animal. You got Aaron Donald, you got Leonard Floyd, you got some guys on the other side. And your offensive line has been tested this year. We talked about that earlier. But he's been the one thing that you can kind of hang your hat on and make sure that you get consistent offense. And that's really what you're looking for. At this point in the year, you're looking for a guy like this. That's what Derrick Henry was for the Titans last year. You have a guy that you can count on to hand him the football and get the tough yards in the second half, and I think he is that guy.
You see him right there, quarterback's nightmare. Shaq Barrett last year led the league in sacks, 19.5. He has 5 now. What I like about him is that he has an arsenal of moves. He's not a one-trick pony. He can come off the edge. He can lean. He uses his hands really good. He uses certain moves to set up other moves, and they move him around. He's hard to predict what he's going to do as a pass rusher because he doesn't give you the same looks. They're going to need him to get going tonight to put some pressure on Jared Goff. I don't know if they're going to move him around or if Whitworth being out, coach, is going to mean that he's going to go right over there and see if that's the matchup.
And that guy right there, Bruce Arians, going to say, you're going right over there because they have a weakness, all right? There's a young guy playing. Bruce Arians, what a coaching job he's done. He's been around a long time now. The guy coached for Bear Bryant, all right? And he's 2-time Coach of the Year. He was the Coach of the Year at the Colts when Chuck Pagano got sick, and he was the Coach of the Year at the Arizona Cardinals, and he's doing a heck of a job right now. He's not afraid to make a call and bring in a guy, bring in an AB, bring in a Leonard Fournette, bring in a Tom Brady. Let's go. Whatever we got to do to win, let's figure it out and make this happen, MJ.
And, Coach, I love that we can go through all of these matchups, all of the possibilities, because that's what we're anticipating for tonight. But Week 11 has already given us plenty to get hype about. I'm going to take a look back at the top 10 plays of Week 11 so far, of course, starting with number 10. And look who it is, Dolphins at Broncos. Tua Tagovailoa to Devontae Parker. These two really getting it together, I feel, Coach.
That's a perfect throw. Toe drag swag.
I love toe drag swag. Number 9, Falcons at Saints. Calvin Ridley. Wow. I know you guys like this one.
Great concentration, keeping his eyes on the ball. I would say high point, but he was falling because the guy was undercutting.
David Carr, this was for you. Eagles at Browns. Kareem Hunt hurdling.
Oh, yeah. MJ, you know I love running the football. It's quarterback's best friend. And these two guys do it incredibly
Open your
well.
eyes, defender. Get your head up and open your eyes.
In the rain, you got to run the ball, right?
All right, number 7, Jets at Chargers. Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. I mean, look at Keenan after this. Planted.
Keenan Allen. What a combination that's going to be.
Real. Oh, yeah. Packers at Colts. We got into this one. Aaron Rodgers, Marquise Valdes-Scantling. My favorite name to pronounce this year so far.
Why does those throws just look so easy?
Easy, right? Crazy. Amazing. All right. Patriots at Texans. Deshaun Watson.
Whoa!
Bottles it in.
Somebody's been in the weight room.
Show it again.
No, Devin. Don't do my guy like that. We're not showing that again.
He has a family. Number 4.
That's family
Eagles
right
at
there.
Browns. Nick Chubb, speaking of muscles, wait for it. He said, get off me.
I love running backs that don't wear gloves. Look at that. He doesn't even care.
Oh my God! I didn't even notice he didn't have gloves on, Derek.
That's
David. Disrespectful. Number 3, Titans at Ravens.
He's a bad man.
Tannehill to A.J. Brown again, Willie.
Look at the DBs. They can't even bring them down. That's just bad tackling on a receiver. But he's throwing them off, Coach. Nobody wants to wrap everybody. He's getting thrown backwards. Go ahead. Just score. Just score.
Just do it. Cowboys at Vikings in the number 2 spot. Adam Thielen. One-handed.
Use one hand, why don't you?
One hand and toe drag.
Nasty. All right, number 1. Cowboys at Vikings. CeeDee Lamb. Twist.
Boy.
How do you do that?
I don't know. Look at this.
I was saying they had a competition for the best catch in this game.
I don't understand. I don't get it. It
That's
hurts
crazy.
my obliques. It
That's
hurts
crazy.
my core. Oh,
that's one exciting
amazing.
rookie.
And that is the top play. I like it. That's how everybody gets hyped. But we will see maybe a little bit more on that on Thanksgiving Day. Here is your Thanksgiving Day game, starting with the Texans at Lions. That's at 12:30 on CBS. Washington at Cowboys at 4:30 Eastern on Fox. And we round it out with Ravens at Steelers. Primetime, 8:20 Eastern on NBC. All right, let's catch you up on the latest from around the league with Ian Rappaport. Ian, the Ravens are dealing with several positive COVID tests. We just talked about their Thursday night game. The league sent a memo to teams about health and safety protocols. So let's start with that. What is the update on the Ravens?
Yeah, a new memo from the NFL about COVID-19 restrictions and essentially COVID-19 protocols changing the way that players behave on the sidelines and on the road. We'll start with on the sideline. First of all personnel who's not directly ready to go into a game or not eligible to go into a game now must wear face coverings. That is a little bit of a change. You're going to see masks now on the sideline. Just 62 people are allowed in a traveling party. Play callers, you just saw a couple of them, now have the same mask requirements as any other coach. That is an important one. And some of these post-game interactions you're seeing right here, they are expected to be limited. And here's one more. All people in a traveling party on planes must wear N95 or KN95 masks just to make sure that there is no spreading. And then you mentioned the Baltimore Ravens COVID-19 positive test. A couple key players are not going to play on Thursday. First of all, J.K. Dobbins, their standout running back, who has become their bell cow over the last couple weeks. He is out because he tested positive for COVID-19, as is Mark Ingram, his sidekick. 2 top running backs are out for the Baltimore Ravens. So Gus Edwards now becomes the starting running back. Brandon Williams, their defensive tackle, he is also out for the game as a high-risk close contact.
All right, Ian, thank you. And William, and David, this is something that teams have been dealing with all season long, obviously. But how do they push through something like this from a coaching perspective?
This is tough now. You know, you got to just play the guys that are healthy and hope that the rest of the team's protected. But remember when these two teams played last time, the Ravens had 457 yards of total offense, twice as much as the Steelers had, and they were going up and down the field. They lost the game because of 4 turnovers. And, you know, J.K. Dobbins, who was a big factor in this game, he had 113 yards rushing. He's not playing. He's out. So Mark Ingram didn't play the first game. He won't play this game. So Gus Edwards is the guy that has to be the bell cow and carry the load a little bit. They know they can move the football against that great defense. They just got to take care of it.
Yeah, they know they can move the ball, and I think that you can get a little creative here, and you got Lamar Jackson. He's still a running back, honestly. I mean, he's a great quarterback, obviously the league MVP, but if you spread them out, which is what they were doing in those clips that you were showing, there's creases in there. So you utilize Lamar in those sets, in those empty sets, and you be creative with formations like I know Greg Roman can be. You can create some big-time running lanes in there for Lamar. So I like this matchup. They obviously played well last time against them, so it'll be an interesting one on Thursday.
David and Coach, the problem with that is I think that everybody's kind of figured out what the Ravens are doing. And if you take away personnel of some of their best players and what they like to do, running the ball by committee with so many different looks, you take those pieces away, now it's even harder to try to hone down on what they want to do. Lamar Jackson, he's going to be the guy. Everybody knows if you stop Lamar Jackson, if you make him throw the ball from the pocket, if he gets behind and you eliminate the running game, that's the problem. The Ravens are not the same team that they were when they first played the Steelers. They have regressed in a lot of different categories. So it's going to be interesting to see how this matchup pans out.
Well, here's the thing. All season long, like we mentioned, teams have been dealing with something like this, and they've had to go to their depth charts, their practice squad if needed. There's no excuses. It's the NFL, and they're going to get after it, and that is going to be a Thanksgiving Day matchup to watch. Of course, we've got you covered all day long, starting with Good Morning Football, then Game Day Morning, and 3 different NFL Total Accesses. Oh, yeah, we'll be here all night. And there go the Bucs running out of the tunnel. Catch us after the postgame for more NFL Total Access.
NFL Total Access is brought to you by DoorDash. $0 delivery fee for the first month. Every flavor welcome.
The only way you beat 6-month-aged cheddar toasted on the shell of a chalupa is to put it in this box.